Okay, what is up guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome if it's your first time here, and if you're returning, welcome back. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about my experience of going to a film market for the second time. So I recently went to the Discop film market and I learned a whole bunch of things as a film producer myself. So a whole bunch of friends of mine have been asking me what's the new trends and takes that I learned from the film market, and I wanted to share that so that you guys can be badass producers and go out there and conquer. And if you've never been to a film market, just a quick description: a film market is basically like a trademark show for films. So basically it's very business centric. You know, there's a whole bunch of stores from different distributors selling their content across different territories. There's producers, there's people looking for financing. And there's also workshops, and there's also broadcasters talking about what kind of content they want, content trends, and there's a whole bunch of like good, useful insights you can get from attending a film market. You know, there's a whole bunch of film markets, from like the Cannes Film Festival, the AFM, and Discop, which is one of the big ones here in South Africa and Africa. So there's Discop, there's DIF, which is the Durban International Film Festival market. So there's a whole bunch of markets, and as a producer you need to know what markets are about, because they show more of the business side of film. You know, like, you learn a lot by going to a market, and you meet a whole lot of producers and you see how they finance their movies, how they come up with different financing strategies. So there's a lot of stuff to learn from markets. Okay, cool. So one of the biggest things that I've learned from markets is you know, there's a thing called sales agents, and sales agents sell and package films to distributors. So for instance, if you make a film, maybe let's say you make it independently, right? And you finish the film, you're done, you know, you have the files and whatever, and now you want to talk to a distributor. Most distributors don't deal with sales agents. You have to actually go to a sales agent and say, hey, I've got this movie, can you shop it around for me? Because those guys have access and contacts with distributors, and they can be able to tell you, you know what, I know where we can sell this movie, I know which VOD platform we can sell this movie at. So that's kind of one of the biggest learning curves that I learned from attending the Discop Film Market 2019. I also learned that in America, Hollywood, when producers book talent for a shoot, there's something called a stop and start date. So if they book Johnny Depp and say, hey, we're gonna shoot with you from the 1st of June to the 1st of August, you know, there's a thing called stop and start date, whereby, you know, whether the movie gets shot or not, or there's financing problems, they get paid, which is like a lot of pressure, but it's really intense. So whether the movie gets shot or not, they have to get paid their rate. And I think that puts a lot of pressure on the producers, but I guess it also covers the actors and talent in the idea that, you know, they could have turned away other jobs. So, you know, you turned away other jobs for those 3 months, so they can't lose money, which kind of makes sense for them. But yeah, that was like a really big point that I was like, whoa, what the fuck? I didn't know this, you know? Another thing is, usually when you go to these markets, there's a whole bunch of distributors and sales agents, and obviously as an independent producer, you don't have the money to travel to all the film markets in the world, to go to European film market, Berlin, Germany, Cannes. So usually you would give your project over to a sales agent to go sell it over there. But the problem is, I mean, I've read some stories about some sales agents selling people's films without the filmmaker's knowledge. You know, they sell it to China and you'll never know. So there's some shady stuff happening with sales agents, and you have to be careful when you are selling your film to an agent or distributor, so that they don't sell the movie without you knowing and making money off it to another territory without you knowing it. So I think maybe the things that you can do is ask them how many other filmmakers have they worked with, other production companies that they work with, and then call those production companies and find out what their experience was, because you don't want to be ripped off. This is like all your hard work, you know? Another thing is there's a organization called IFTA, which kind of regulates sales agents. So if someone does rip you off, you can kind of like report them to IFTA and they can be fined or, you know, have some consequences. But it's something to look out for if you're trying to sell your movie, because I've read a lot about filmmakers that have been ripped off by a sales agent that sells their movies to territories without them knowing. So this is part 1 of the Discop film market lessons. I'm gonna make another video because I want to keep it quick and short. And tune in to the next video, and I'm gonna be talking more about more stuff that I've learned from attending my first film market. If you like this video, please drop a comment below and let me know what your experience is going to a film market. I'd love to hear from you. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and maybe hit that bell button to be notified every time I drop a new video. Until next time, peace.